Hello and welcome to the show. Now with this new rally car build series, you guys have wanted me to have a go with something front wheel drive. So why not start with my favourite of the front wheel drive cars in Forza Horizon 3, and that would be the 695. I absolutely adore racing this thing on Forza 6. It is so perfect to drive, at least in my opinion. Not everyone agrees with me on that one, but I really love this car on Forza 6. So I'm hoping when it comes to building one up on Horizon 3, it'll still be pretty good. Now, my concern with front-wheel drive cars, and we're going to kind of find out how it goes today. My concern with front-wheel drive cars in this series is halfway, even if it is just halfway through S1 class, that's still going to potentially be a lot of power going to the front wheels. We have a double spoiler at the back, fantastic. Not quite as spectacular after last time, admittedly. What have we got in the way of engines actually that can go in here? Oh, okay. So Turbo Rally is the only option aside from the standard one. That could. I don't know if we're going to have enough power to actually get it up to the very. Well, get it up to the PI necessarily. We will see what it can do. 245s on the front. Of course, front tyres by far the most important thing with this car. They've got to do almost all of the work. Rear tyres, I mean, we're still going to have 245s. Hopefully, we won't have too much sliding from the back of the car. Yes, it can happen, especially when we're on snow and so on. The back end could potentially let go. I think it's unlikely to see too much of that going on in the Abarth and with any of the front-wheel drive cars, really. But yeah, having plenty of grip is going to come in handy, really. We're also going to want a nice roll cage, a weight reduction. Now, I have been tending to be less concerned about weight reduction with these series. Honestly, this car is so light to begin with. Weight reduction maximum is only taking out £300 anyway. I'm not sure if we need to do it at the moment, although we're going to come back. See how we're doing power-wise as to whether we might still have the PI to work with to do that. I don't know how much power we're going to get out of the standard engine. This is going to be very much a case of chuck on parts and see where we are at. It might have to go for a turbo rally engine. As I said previous, I want to keep the cars with their standard engine if I can. If I can't keep the cars with their standard engine, then we will use whatever is going to get us closest to the maximum PI. The standard engine is going to be, I think, tantalizingly close, but it's not quite. We might have to... Oh, God, we might have to use a turbo rally engine for the first time in this series on a front-wheel drive car. Bugger. Admittedly, turbo rally engines have got considerably better than in the days of Forza 6, and probably previous Forzas as well. They've got a little bit better power band going on now, so... okay, so 420 horsepower, essentially, and I think this will get a bit more when we take the restrictors off. Let's go have a look. This is the awkward thing working with this engine. Oh, here we go. Okay, we get a lot more torque. We don't get that much more power, but we get a lot more torque. It is a slightly heavier engine, though, which I guess is a little bit of a downside, not a massive downside. We will go through here. Okay, we have already got that. It did save all of, so at least some of this. We'll get the diff in the car as well. I swear the turbo rally engine can get towards 500. Again, that could have been in previous Forzas. Though, right, weight reduction. We can get weight reduction on to the vehicle, and it's still going to be well within the PI. It's down to £2,057. That is not a lot of weight, and quite a lot of power and torque going on in our Abarth, and that is all we can do with the car. I'm purely curious here. We're not going to, but out of curiosity, if we were to have it all-wheel drive, it would, as you would imagine, jump the PI up. Still, we can't even get it into S2 class. We just can't get the power out of it. We really need, 500 horsepower, perhaps? Although 500 horsepower through the front wheels of such a light car would be terrifying. There we go, then. Our Abarth, for a fairly quick build, this one. Basically, shove all the parts that you possibly can on the vehicle, and we are good to go. I'm just going to make sure that we have. Just double check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did go and stick everything on it. It's ready to go. Fair amount of power, quite a lot of torque in a front-wheel drive car that has got a tiny wheelbase and is the lightest car we have sent down here. Nothing could go wrong with any of that at all. So it is to the top of the Blizzard Mountain we go with the Abarth. It is the Mountain Peak Scramble circuit that I'll get 5 laps in this crazy front-wheel drive car to try and go as fast as possible. Current leader is the Ford Focus Rallycross, a 125.2. We are unlikely to be seeing that sort of pace out of the Abarth. Whereas most interesting is how it's going to fare against the Supra, a 32.5 from the rear-wheel drive Supra. Maybe the Abarth could be getting near that. I don't really know how front-wheel drive is going to fare out in the snow. I would also like to say, at the time I'm recording this, I haven't put out the 205 where I asked for corner names, so I haven't had a chance or haven't been able to look for them. So if you do have any more names for these corners you haven't suggested one yet, please do let me know. I will have a look through, and favourites will grace this course with their presence. At the moment we are struggling massively with understeer, as you can perhaps imagine. I'm not sure it's so much struggling for traction like the Supra does, for example. I mean, we are up to some seriously good speeds through here. It's just as we're trying to get on the power, it's wanting to drag itself very, very wide. Oops, I don't know where we're going there. I don't know where we're going at all around that part of the course. I'm not sure front-wheel drive is going to be the way to go with this whatsoever. We will see with the lap time. This doesn't feel fast. Sometimes cars don't feel fast at all, and they actually turn out to be relatively good. This does not feel fast at all, but and then some cars that feel really quick around the circuit turn out to be useless. Had that happen a few times as well. I guess we're going to miss the ice patch at least. Now down here we can be a lot braver than we think we can. I just chuck the car. Oh no, don't chuck the car in like that though. I went to chuck it in like an all-wheel drive car, and then we just got all of the understeer because I was getting on the power at all the wrong times. Maybe just leaving it in a higher gear is going to be the way to go with this. I think possibly, maybe even fourth is a nice gear. Fourth is a good gear. Please stop spinning the wheels, car. Please stop spinning the wheels indeed. I mean, it might actually be possible to go faster than the Supra. Looking at that as an opening lap that was quite scruffy in a number of places, it might be doable. You're asking an awful lot of the Abarth. But if you're going to ask a lot of any front-wheel drive car, this is the one that I would want to be asking a lot of. Come on, Abarth, find some grip, Up this hill we go. Oh, now we've got to go through. Now, I want to be flat out through here, but I know I'm not going to be. There's no way. Although, 86, 87 miles an hour on the apex. I feel like, oh, crap. The car can carry more speed through there than I am. Almost than I'm expecting it to. But if you just get that fraction too much throttle, then you suddenly get wheel spin, and then you're going in a straight line because it's front-wheel drive. That's when you're in trouble. You can't, with the rear-wheel drive and the all-wheel drive cars, they start to slide, they start to oversteer, it's fine, you can get away with a little bit of that. But when we've got as much power and torque as we do in this, and the car wanting to drag itself straight, if you just, 0.5% too much throttle, you end up in the wall. Whereas a little bit sideways, you can normally recover from. Even a lot bit sideways, you can recover from easier than you can with this. Like there, for example, I want to get on the power. I've made the turn, trying to get on the power, and it's just fractions spun up the wheels, and we're just dragged straight into that wall. We are going to try this next lap. I don't think it's going to work. Well, maybe it will, actually. Maybe it will. Just sort of using 33.7. We are not that far away from the Supra's lap time. What if, lap 3 is going to be a very experimental lap with the car. We're basically not going to go lower than 4th gear, and see if that does the trick. It could work. It could work pretty well, actually, in this car. This engine does have a lot of power and torque low down, so we can get away with it. That's the thing, the Turbo Rally engine is great for. So we're going to leave it in these gears, and then hopefully we're not going to get... just don't quite have the grip through that corner. This is a hell of a change of pace from the 205. It's not actually as bad through... There's a really horrible section for what is essentially a track car, and the Abarth is doing okay through it. The Abarth is doing relatively well through that part of the lap. Back up into 5th, down here we go. The rear end does also like to come round a little bit, although it kind of pales into insignificance when compared with the crazy understeer that we have going on. Turn in, managed to miss the ice, I think primarily because we have a million miles of understeer in this vehicle. I say really slow it down for this corner. You can throw cars through there with great speed, but not this one. This one, you've got to be a lot more respectful of it. You can't just chuck it and hope like you could with the 205, like you could with the Focus and so on. Out of the final turn we go in 4th gear. This high gear thing is going to work. It's going to work incredibly well, in fact. In our Abarth, it goes quicker than the Supra. I've still got a couple of laps to go. Yeah, okay, shall we try even more experimental, having 5th as our gear of choice? Again, this is partly Turbo Rally engine helping. I'm amazed, actually. I was not expecting the front-wheel drive car here to be to be this good. I was expecting to be having a lot more troubles with it. There we go around. I mean, we have got really good power-to-weight ratio in comparison to the Supra. For example, we have got much higher power-to-weight ratio in the Abarth, and it really is doing well out here. Get it turned down that hill, get it back up into 5th we go. Try. It does not feel fast at all. The Supra felt so much quicker than this vehicle. However, it's one of those that is actually going quite well, and not even if we've just got I would say inopportune driveline perhaps for this. We're also down on PI in comparison to the Supra, but it doesn't really seem to bother the Abarth. We've still got the lap speed going on here. I doubt we're going to be able to get into or under the 1 minute 30s with this. I think that might be a bit of a tall order. 5th gear out of this final corner. Yeah, we can kind of just boot it out of all of these turns in 5th and we're okay. Well, I think perhaps that the 4th gear out of the slower corners is still the way to go. Might be asking a little bit too much. That was quite a, I say it's quite a way, about 2nd slower than the previous lap. So 4th gear, 4th and 5th gear are the ones that you want around here. That seems to do the trick quite nicely. He's still got a lot of throttle control to be dealing with in this car, because it's even running in these high gears. I mean, this isn't a crazy powerful engine either for a front-wheel drive car. It's a lot, but it's nothing compared to some of the stuff that I've done with them. And yeah, even being careful, there is a lot of fighting and still quite a lot of spinning the wheels up around the place. I'm going so slow through there, I can't really get away with absolutely throwing the car down the hills around that part. Oh, might turn in a fraction too late. A little bit less than ideal for the Abarth. We have, though, got away with it. Now, what line do we want to take through here? Kind of take it very differently in this car to the other corners, because you can't really throw it in again with in the same way that I have been with the other cars, so it ends up being quite a different corner. Similar story down here. Although we have only really had a couple of cars go previous, let's not forget. You still drive it in a very different manner in this than the previous two. Right, the final turn to go. Have we found any pace on this final lap? I'm not sure. I am not sure at all. But the experimenting, no, we didn't. We didn't at all. The experimenting with the gears, we obviously got everything right on that 3rd lap. 31.1 is a good showing, I reckon, from this front-wheel drive Abarth. That's actually surprisingly controllable around this circuit. To celebrate, well, we can have celebratory donuts, but not the normal kind. We've got to have some celebratory reverse donuts from the Abarth, and I think that is a good showing, a very good showing indeed from the front-wheel drive cars. A few people were saying that the front-wheel drive cars might be better suited to driving in the snow. I don't really know a huge amount about, as I said in previous ones, I don't know a huge amount about snow and ice racing and so on. Maybe front-wheel drive is a preferred drive line when it comes to this sort of condition. Certainly, the Abarth does throw up a little bit of a surprise, at least to me, maybe not to you guys at home, but to me, the Abarth going quicker than the Mark III Supra, I think is a very, very good showing from the car. Yes, it is a long way off the 205 T16. The 205 was a 1:26.1, so we're talking some 5 seconds, almost exactly 5 seconds faster around this course. But the Peugeot was all-wheel drive, and the Abarth, while pretty good, there's still horrendous amounts of understeer as you're trying to use any power through a corner, as you can imagine from something with this much power and torque, and the front wheels having to do everything. Yeah, not quite, but it is a second and a half faster than the Mark III Supra, which that's quite a big margin. That's a much bigger margin than I was expecting between those two cars. So yeah, the first front-wheel drive vehicle to grace our snowy rally course is a hell of a lot better than I was expecting. While it doesn't feel fast, it certainly can set a pretty damn decent lap time. However, that is going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, we'll leave you with some more reverse celebratory donuts. Goodbye.